Nations Amongst Us
with Chloe.
Hello and welcome to Nations Amongst Us, where we celebrate the wonderful diversity of Qatar, shedding the light on a special country in each episode. Today, we're taking you on a journey to a land of breathtaking mountains and pristine lakes. It's a European country and is famous for its precision. The last hint I will give you is made of 3 different words, and I am sure it will give away what today's country is. Cheese, chocolate, and watches. You guessed it.
Nations Amongst Us.
Welcome to Switzerland, a land of farming, innovation, and cohesion. It's a land of 4 official languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh, each representing a distinct cultural region. The majestic Alps cover about 60% of the country. They are home to the iconic Swiss cows, whose bells echo across the mountains. These cows are the stars of Swiss agriculture, producing the milk for world-famous Swiss cheese and creamy chocolate. There in the Alps, you'll find other creatures like the marmot, a type of large squirrel, and the majestic ibex, a mountain goat that has become a national symbol. Switzerland is a land of over 1,500 lakes, 7,000 if you count small water bodies, a wealth of natural beauty. This song, Gugusberglied, is arguably the oldest and most well-known Swiss folk song, dating back to at least 1741. It tells a tragic story of unfulfilled love between a girl named Vreneli from Gugusberg and her beloved Simis Hans Jogli. The melody is distinct for being one of the very few Swiss folk songs written in a minor key. The song's emotional power was so strong that it was reportedly forbidden to be sung by Swiss mercenaries in foreign military service, as it was known to cause Swiss sickness or acute homesickness, sometimes leading to death. This was a classic Swiss folk tune played on the Alp horn, a long wooden horn traditionally used for communication in the mountains, sounding just like nature. The deep connection to the land for the Swiss people is perfectly balanced with a forward-thinking spirit, as Switzerland is a global leader in innovation with one of the highest numbers of patents per capita. More about the Swiss innovation during and after the interview with Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Switzerland.
Nations Amongst Us on QBS.
We had the pleasure to meet the ambassador just a day before the recording of the interview, as we, the QBS team, were delightfully invited to celebrate the Swiss National Day with Swiss families here in Doha. The embassy welcomed us warmly, and today we get to welcome you, Your Excellency, here in our studios. Her Excellency Mrs. Florence Tingley-Matli earned a degree in economics from the University of Geneva and a master's in European Studies. In 1990, she was appointed Delegate for European Affairs before joining the Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs in 1994. Her diplomatic career includes postings in Beijing in 1996, Nairobi in 2004, and New Delhi in 2008. She served as ambassador to Liechtenstein from 2014 to 2015, Tanzania from 2015 to 2019, and Denmark from 2019 to 2023. Her Excellency is married to the Swiss diplomat Arthur Matli, with whom she has 2 adult boys. Since September 2023, she has served as the ambassador to the state of Qatar, what an honor. Welcome to the QBS studios. How are you feeling today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you. And it was a great pleasure to welcome you yesterday. Thank you for coming.
The honor is ours. So firstly, when we mention Switzerland, what do you think is the first thing that comes to people's mind?
Oh, I think all over the world, more or less the same cliche, being chocolate, mountain, cheese, banks, yes, watches as well. All this is true. But Switzerland is much more than that. The image, I think, that we have from Switzerland abroad is more a rural image, but Switzerland is an urban country with a lot of diversity. We have 4 national languages. We have more than 25% of the population which is non-Swiss nationals. So we have a very vibrant economy also focused on high education, high skills. And yes, so this is the Switzerland of today. The farmer as well, high economy and high productivity and innovation. Innovation is definitely key. Switzerland has been ranked as the most innovative country. So this is really the engine of the Swiss economy to strive to be really always innovative, to keep this high level of productivity.
That's fascinating. Now, Your Excellency, picking up from what you've said on innovation, which is a key part of the Swiss identity, how does a creative spirit, which is evident in both arts and watchmaking, continue to be fostered in the Swiss society here in Qatar?
Well, in Qatar, actually, we have a small community, but I think you could see by yourself.
Yes.
Very diverse and high-skilled people who come to Qatar also with their innovative spirit and skills in their own field. We see, for example, I'm quite proud to say that one of the latest Swiss joined the Swiss community to Qatar is a startup, a young lady who has won an award in Qatar as an innovative startup in the area of art and jewelry. Just to say that this Swiss community here in Qatar is, I think, very innovative, taking also what we are in Switzerland and bringing it to Qatar.
That's remarkable. Now, Ambassador, how do you see Switzerland's traditional focus on social cohesion reflected in a diverse and multilateral environment such as Qatar?
Yes, well, let's first focus on, as you said, thank you for raising that, cohesion. This is absolutely key for Switzerland, having a very diverse society, not only the 4 cultures that I mentioned, but also a very high number of new people arriving from all over the world, mostly from Europe. So coming with their own background, cultural background, diversity. So cohesion is key. It really demands a big commitment from the different authorities, be the government, central government, the cantonal, and also at local level, the commune level. It goes through education, also civil society, a lot of activities, learning the language, but also the engagement of everyone, and also what we have a long tradition in Switzerland is a tradition of open debate. We go to the poll 4 times a year to decide on any issue that can be on the local level, on the federal level. So the benefit is really to push for a debate of any question, any problem, challenge that needs to be solved. And I think this way of airing also the problems that we have is definitely a way to keep this cohesion between the 4 cultures.
Now, Your Excellency, what advice would you give our listeners on how they can experience the culture of Switzerland?
Well, this is the same for every country. I think you could come and see for yourself.
Yeah.
And but I would definitely advise a traveler just to buy a Swiss travel pass and jump on a train and try to discover and start to discover the different cantons, few of the cantons and the capital city, and to see the diversity. So there is something for everyone. If you like museum culture, then Zurich with the Kunsthaus has a great museum, Basel, Bayer Foundation, and of course the Art Basel that will set foot here in Qatar early 2026.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful news. I'm really thrilled.
Yeah.
So there is a cooperation starting between Art Basel and Qatar. So that will be a great event. I'm sure you will have the opportunity also to report on that. We are a museum country. Probably it's not the first image that people have when they talk about Switzerland, but we have more than 1,100 museums.
Oh, that's fascinating.
That people love sharing knowledge. So most of those museums are small, but you have big museum. We mentioned two, but you can visit the Charlie Chaplin Museum in Montreux, the Chocolate Museum
Let's not forget.
also in Braux, the Transport Museum in Lucerne, which is the most visited museum in Switzerland, Patek Philippe Museum.
Oh.
Many of your listeners will be very interested.
We'll be very delighted to know about that.
Beautiful museum on all the history of the watchmaking.
That's interesting.
Fascinating museum.
Yeah.
And the Olympic Museum also in Lausanne, which is the Olympic city. But if you want also to mix the outdoor activities, well, go hiking. You can sleep in an alpine hut for a very reasonable price and have a great opportunity and experience actually in the mountain.
You've just placed an idea in my head right now, Ambassador, but yes, please go on. That's a very beautiful visual I'm having.
And then, of course, you can go up to different mountains with the train. In Interlaken, up to the Jungfrau or the Matterhorn. You can go kayaking. You can, of course, in the winter skiing, or even in the summer, you can ski in Zermatt. If you are in Bern, in our capital city, then in the heart of the city, you can just take a swim in the river and you look up and you have the Parliament building. And then lakes, we have plenty of lakes. The Geneva famous fountain on Geneva Lake. There is really something for everyone.
We truly appreciate you giving us a little taste of Switzerland right here on QBS Radio on Nations Amongst Us.
Your window into the world next door.
You're listening to Nations Amongst Us on QBS Radio. Today's episode puts the spotlight on Switzerland, and this is the second part of the interview with Her Excellency, the ambassador of this amazing nation. Ambassador, we've had a teaser of what that experience could be like visiting the country yesterday at the National Day celebration, which is also a very family event. I'd like to ask, there was one part of the program wherein lanterns were lit.
Yes.
And they were handed to parents, to children, and everybody went around this pool at the event place and went through the bridge and then came back. Can you please explain what is that symbolic of?
Well, this is a very old tradition or symbol, let's say. 1st of August is the middle of the summer. I think that in the ancient times, it was also linked with in many places of Europe, was to make a big fire on the 21st of June, let's say. But this tradition is also for us in the 1st of August, our national day. So after any celebration, we light a big fire. There's a tour with the children, with the what we call the lampions. The light normally, well, you go when it's dark, obviously, and it's also bringing the light. It's linked to that. So it's an old tradition that everyone goes.
I was told that if there was a lake, it could have been a trip around the lake, or a parade around the lake.
There is everywhere in Switzerland. Often you have a small, big lake, and if it's a small lake, because it's a big one, yes, you go around the lake. In Bern, for example, for the 1st of August, they lit some floating lamps and they put them on the river, which is really beautiful.
One thing that I also was introduced to as far as food is concerned would be your Swiss cheese. It was my first time to have tasted it. What is one unique quality about the Swiss cheese, would you say?
So yes, we have a very strong production of cheese, like our neighbors as well. So all over Europe we had agriculture that was based on cows and milk. So, but for us, so Swiss cheese is definitely a long tradition, more of hard cheese. So for the raclette specialty and from the Alps, every Swiss like that. Maybe in the summer you would rather eat raclette. In the winter time you would eat fondue, cheese melted, and you eat it with bread. Basic, very basic dishes, but that unite really every Swiss and has full of calcium. So it was quite heavy.
Yes, it was. With potatoes and peas too. We had the most delightful dinner last night at the National Day Swiss celebration.
Glad to hear.
And so I would like to thank you again for the warm reception, the beautiful dinner, a little bit of the Alps, the cheese and everything, and of course the warm company. Thank you very much, Ambassador.
And I have a small gift for you.
You do?
It won't come well on the radio, but one of the symbols of Switzerland that I haven't mentioned is the Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
So that shows definitely this ingenuity Switzerland is known for.
Okay.
And I thought you definitely
oh my goodness. I think I have to have
the complete picture.
I must have this on video. So I am being gifted this beautiful Swiss knife. Oh my goodness. I did not expect this. To address our QBS listeners, this is not a stunt. It's an actual Swiss Army knife. Thank you, Ambassador. This is beautiful. I've never had a Swiss Army knife in my life before. From the Ambassador of Switzerland in Qatar herself, Her Excellency Mrs. Florence Tingley Matley, thank you so much. Not only for the gift, but for this fabulous interview. Thank you.
It was a great pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Nations Amongst Us on QBS.
Some of the most famous Swiss innovations include the World Wide Web, created by Tim Berners-Lee at CERN, the European Center for Nuclear Research in Geneva, Velcro, the Swiss Army knife, which I was lucky to get as a gift from Her Excellency on this episode, and even the modern form of milk chocolate. The country continues to be innovative in design as well. Nespresso capsules for the coffee lovers, stackable Landy chairs, and even the known Helvetica font are Swiss designs. The Swiss also lead in cutting-edge fields like robotics, biotechnology, and sustainable energy. What makes the Swiss innovation truly remarkable is that it's deeply integrated into the culture and economy, and not just limited to big companies. It's a combination of a strong educational system, significant investment in research and development, and a culture that values precision and quality. Speaking of innovation and robotics is the perfect excuse to mention the pioneering Swiss electronic duo Yellow, who became internationally famous for their experimental electronic music. We now listen to The Race, blending electronic music with car sounds.
Nations Amongst Us with Chloe.
Mr. David Buehler is a senior client account manager at UBS Qatar. Having moved from his hometown of Bouainan, Switzerland, he has been a resident of Qatar since January of 2022. David, welcome to Nations Amongst Us right here on QBS Radio. How do you feel today?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm feeling very good. Thank you.
David, my first question to you is, how do you maintain a sense of Swiss identity while living and working in a different cultural environment such as Qatar?
I'm very active here, actually. I'm also the vice president of the Swiss Business Council here in Qatar. And that brings a lot of Swiss business people together. And then we always can share latest news from Switzerland. And that keeps like a bit touch back to home. But I'm also very lucky that I have a lot of friends who already visit me here. In fact, actually next week, my parents are visiting me, bring me a lot of chocolate and cheese from Switzerland. And I also
package.
Indeed, and I mean, what's more identity of Switzerland than cheese and chocolate, right?
You could not have said it any better. I'd like to ask you, David, when you want to share a piece of your home with a new friend, what Swiss song, for instance, or tradition would you share with them?
One I like the most actually is the National Day, which we celebrated yesterday. Growing up in a very rural area, so it's very common that we have a brunch at the farm, and afterwards we usually gather with friends. We have a barbecue. Actually, we don't eat cheese in summer in August because it's too hot. It's more a winter thing. And then we also have usually a bonfire, and it's just a very casual gathering with a lot of friends and family. It's really cool, and often in summer, beginning of August, the weather is fantastic, and so it's a great time.
What cultural element or tradition that is a core memory of yours that you often miss and perhaps have told friends about your hometown or your country that you think is quite a standout from the life that we have here in Qatar?
So I grew up in Wangen an der Aare, as you correctly said, and Aare is actually the name of a river. So in summer, it's very common for us to go swim in the river.
Right.
We usually have some boats. We go and enjoy there. And obviously in Qatar, we don't have the river. So I miss that for sure in summertime. But other than that, Qatar, especially also Doha, has a lot to offer as well. So there's, of course, the weather here is too hot for me in summer.
Yeah.
It's a bit hotter than in Switzerland, but it's still okay.
As it is for most of us.
It is, yeah, indeed, yeah.
Let's be honest about that.
Your window into the world next door.
How did it feel to you celebrating the National Day with your family here in Qatar? Is it the first time that you celebrated it?
Yeah, I'm here almost 4 years now. As far as I know, the first time we celebrated the National Day, like in that style. Obviously, I had some childhood memories coming back with the Lampio parade.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot about it, and then I realized, yeah, we did that too when I was a child, and I loved it. Me and my sister, we loved it too. We walked through our village, and at the end, you got some food and snacks.
So, David, earlier with Ambassador Florence, we talked about Swiss ingenuity, craftsmanship, and innovation. At this point, I want to ask you if you can name 3 Swiss-made watches. Which one do you like to wear, and what are your personal favorites?
So I'm coming from a watch family. So my grandmother, my mother, they used to work for a watch company.
Yeah.
They made the mechanics.
You're the perfect person to
indeed.
ask.
And my godfather, which is also my uncle, he still owns a watch company, actually.
He does.
It's called Leotre, makes very affordable, high-quality watches. Personally, I like a lot of brands. Unfortunately, none of them are affordable to me.
Yeah.
I love the brand Longines, very traditional looking. It's what you get for the price value. It's fantastic. And when it comes to the inside of the mechanics of watches, Chez Le Coutre, or most people might know it as JLC, is kind of the watchmaker of the watchmakers.
Right.
So they provide for very high-end brands the mechanics. And that's a brand I actually adore a lot. And in fact, I actually do wear a watch from them today.
Wonderful. Before we ended the interview with Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Qatar, she has gifted me with a Swiss knife.
Yeah.
And you explained that this very utilitarian tool could possibly have 100 little tools in it, Swiss knife, and how traditional it is to gift somebody.
Yeah, it's actually very common. I'd say every Swiss has at least one. For sure, back in Switzerland, I have several. I was also in the army, so I had the honor to have the real Swiss army knife, which is actually not red as the one you got. It's silver. I quickly showed it to you, right? There's like a toothpick inside. You have a knife.
Fascinating that it has that.
Yeah, and you have a screwdriver, you have a bottle opener. In fact, it's everything you need. If you go for a hike in the mountains and you want to have a small barbecue, it's all you need is there.
Yeah.
So it's actually, it fits in every pocket.
Yeah.
And it's a must-have when you're traveling in Switzerland, especially when you're a outdoorsy person. You should always have one with you.
It certainly was a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you for sharing your time. David Buehler, a resident of Qatar and a Swiss national.
Nations Amongst Us on QBS.
Switzerland is a neutral country. Good offices and peace building are key priorities of its foreign policy. It hosts in the Geneva the largest United Nations office outside of New York. The commitment to citizens' well-being extends to security. You see, in 1963, Switzerland mandated that every citizen have access to a nuclear fallout shelter. leading to the construction of over 370,000 bunkers, providing shelter for more than the entire population, highlighting the state's long-standing policy of armed neutrality and preparedness. We end this episode with a timeless ode to life by Patent Auctioneer, a heartfelt toast to life's journey, celebrating everything from childhood dreams to the passage of time and the bonds between people. This song spent 40 weeks on the Swiss charts and garnered over 7.1 million Spotify plays, appealing to people from all ages. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover the beauty of a culture that finds harmony in the balance of farming and innovation, as well as cohesion between different races and languages. Join us next week as we explore another nation amongst us.
Your window into the world next door.